Coming up next on This Week in Torrance, two car makers with headquarters in Torrance top an important list.
And a new women's imaging center opens in the city. We'll take you there.
Plus, despite changes in the book world, we'll show you how one Torrance store is still selling.
Then, patients in a hospital's transitional facility get rooms with a view. These stories and much more are just seconds away.
Your local news starts right now.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Torrance. I'm Jin Chun.
And I'm Ben McCain. Thanks for joining us. Here are your top stories. Well, despite millions of recalls, Toyota is still at the top of the heap. According to Consumer Reports, Toyota, along with Honda, have been ranked as the best overall all-around car makers for the third year in a row. Honda Motor Company had the best overall score of 74 out of 100 points. Consumer Reports said Honda had the best reliability record of any company, and it recommended about 3/4 of the vehicles it tested. Toyota came in with 71 points. And though the largest global car company has dealt with massive safety recalls, Toyota fared well in the magazine's top picks for 2011 with models like their Prius Hybrid.
After a week off, City Council was back in chambers for their weekly meeting.
Torrance was recognized for being a finalist in the most business-friendly city competition. The honor was presented to council by the Board of Supervisors and the LA County Economic Development Corporation. Torrance is participating in the Google Transit program. On the city's transit website, you can click on the Google Trip Planning widget, and by inputting your location, destination, and date of travel, you can plan a trip with walking, mass transit, or both using Google Maps. Torrance is the first city in the South Bay with its own transit line to participate in Google Transit. The Torrance Public Library unveiled its email notification system. The system will notify patrons when books are due and when books are late. Patrons can also opt to renew those books in the same email, and if you have any items that are long overdue or have been deemed lost, the new program offers automatic billing. Upcoming events will also be publicized via the email system. You can sign up online at the city's website or by calling the library. And later in the meeting, the Friends of the Torrance Public Library donated $2,000 for the creation of a smartphone library application.
Fuel efficiency is one criteria consumers may consider if they're buying a new car, and it's an important consideration since prices at the pump are on the rise. Southland gasoline prices are rising to the highest numbers since 2008. The 26th increase in 27 days pushed the average price of gas to 20 cents higher than a week ago. That's more than 41 cents above what it was 1 month ago and 76 cents greater than it was a year ago. Increasing prices for imported crude oil all stem from the unrest in the Middle East. Fed Chairman Ben Bernanke will likely face questions from members of Congress about the rising prices. Officials are worried higher fuel costs could mean people will spend less on other things, which could slow the economic recovery and possibly hiring.
The year 2019 will mark 130 years of the Rose Parade, and that milestone will also be marked with another milestone. That year, the Rose Float Association will have its first African-American president. Gerald Freeney has been a volunteer with the association since 1988. He was recently elected to the association's executive committee, and under the committee's bylaws, he will become president in 8 years and serve during the 130th anniversary parade. Freeney is a native of Pasadena and credits his parents and teachers with encouraging him to volunteer.
And dancers are putting on the finishing touches of an upcoming performance. South Bay Ballet is showcasing their newest talents in a recital entitled Bravo. The performance combines both classical and modern ballet. The classical piece reflects the seasons, and modern dancers will perform a piece to a song by rock band Switchfoot. The theme of this piece was inspired by hope.
My first few dancers, they sort of start, they're broken and sort of discouraged, and I want to get across with my piece that even though in a broken state they were able to go on.
It feels good when people get to see you like showing what you work for.
South Bay Ballet production Bravo will be at the James Armstrong Theater for 2 performances on Saturday, March 5th at 7 p.m. and on Sunday, March 6th at 2 p.m. For more information, go to southbayballet.org. Coming up after the break, we'll tell you how one of your favorite bookstores is planning for the future.
Now here's the current temperature outside.
Travel advisories to small business loans, retirement savings to Medicare coverage, ID theft protection to contacting elected officials, student loans to taxes online. Whether you have information to get or ideas to give, USA.gov is the official place to connect with your government. From surplus car auctions to finding a new job, our new mobile apps will keep you updated on the go. So, from marriage records to passport applications, veterans benefits to birth certificates, patent applications to energy-saving ideas, product recalls to home buying tips. Check out USA.gov because the country runs better when we stay connected.
Flying at 600 miles per hour and turning 9 times the force of gravity is one of the most amazing things I've ever done. I'm Heath Voss, Supercross racer. Whether you want to fly at the speed of sound or hit a jump on a dirt bike and fly 50 feet in the air, you have to work hard, stay focused, and make some tough choices to accomplish your goals. Make the right choices today and be ready for the challenges tomorrow. This message brought to you by the U.S. Air Force.
When lending a helping hand to those struck by disaster, we often send help in the form of goods. But did you know how much money goes to the shipping and storage costs for just one of these? It could have been used to provide necessities such as clothing and shelter for so many more people in need of our help and love. The love helps. Send helpful love. Cash is best. For more information, visit www.cidi.org.
First music, now books and magazines. Technology is changing the publishing world, and that's bringing change to brick-and-mortar bookstores. Reporter Leah Uko has the potential impact on Torrance consumers.
You may have noticed that the Borders bookstore chain is getting smaller. The power bookseller recently filed for bankruptcy and is closing more than 200 of its stores. Many fault the economy and a rapidly changing industry as reason for its decline. But other large bookseller stores are adapting to the publishing world's changes. Competitor Barnes & Noble is a prime example. In fact, according to Mike Swan, Torrance's Barnes & Noble community manager, says the store's sales have increased.
We are actually very, very excited about our future. We're actually coming off of our most successful holiday selling season in several years.
Swan says 2 major improvements in Barnes & Noble separate them from their competitors: modern gadgets and community involvement.
We do have some author events.
But in addition to feel-good programs, Barnes & Noble has a product that embraces technology. The newest product Barnes & Noble has to stay relevant and up to speed with current technology is the Nook Color. Its touchscreen and internet features make it quite the competition for other e-readers.
It is a beautiful color touchscreen. It's interactive, that does have social features. You can share passages just with a tap of a button to your Facebook or your Twitter.
The Nook Color is their latest strategy for staying in the book business. It competes with other e-readers and at a more reasonable price.
We really are excited about Nook Color. We call that the future of reading.
And while they're preparing for the book business's future, Barnes & Noble continues to focus on the physical store.
We do anticipate that there will be books that people will always want to own a physical copy.
Liz Kovacs couldn't agree more.
But you know what? There is nothing like flipping through a book.
She knows that technology is changing the book-selling business, yet it's necessary to adapt.
People like technology and are drawn to technology nowadays, but I think Borders can do the same thing.
Whether it's ebooks or real books, the undeniable truth is the book industry is changing, both stores. But in Torrance, consumers are still buying and still reading. For Torrance City Cable, I'm Leah Uko.
Thanks, Leah. And for a complete list of Borders stores closing, go to borders.com.
Medical experts suggest women 40 years and older get mammograms every 1 to 2 years. And now South Bay residents have a new location to allow them to do just that. Reporter Leah Uko explains.
So we get in the car.
Women in Torrance no longer have to go to Redondo Beach for their health screenings. Torrance Providence Little Company of Mary Medical Center has moved a cutting-edge image facility closer to the hospital on Hawthorne Boulevard. The center is convenient for patients and has much-needed space for new state-of-the-art equipment.
We have the 4 mammo screening rooms. We have the stereotactic biopsy machine that we do biopsies on patients that need it. We have ultrasound, 2 ultrasound machines, and we can do biopsies on those machines as well.
There is also a cardiologist on staff and a cardiac rehabilitation center for patients in recovery.
This is the place where the individual who's been stricken by the acute vascular event can learn how to be empowered, how to take care of themselves.
Among the many services this new center provides, it also has the latest technology for breast exams.
Digital imaging is the future for mammogram screening. A radiologist can magnify and manipulate images for more detailed viewing.
You couldn't do any of the manipulating of the image like you can here.
A digital mammogram uses X-ray energy to create digital images.
With a computerized detector system can be manipulated so that you can look for tiny calcifications, for small masses, and for other abnormalities that would not be seen with a normal film screen mammogram.
Dr. Duncan says digital mammography is a big improvement from X-rays.
Because there's lower dose, it's speedier, and it is a higher detection rate for cancer.
One potential patient says this seals the deal for her.
In the past, I've had to wait almost a week for results, where this is just a few days.
The center's director of specialty services wants patients to know the imaging center has multiple purposes.
Besides the mammography part of the women's imaging, we also do some GYN type of ultrasound tests and procedures here.
For Torrance City Cable, I'm Leah Uko.
Thank you, Leah. And for more information on the Women's Imaging Center here in Torrance, go to providence.org. Coming up, a serene sight provides respite for hospice patients and their families.
That's after the break, but first, here's your 5-day forecast.
over half the people waiting for an organ transplant in the United States will die before they get one. You can increase your chances of getting a life-saving organ donation by joining Life Sharers. You get preferred access to the organs of other members. In return, you give fellow members first access to your organs. Membership is free and anyone can join. Join Life Sharers now. It's free and it could save your life.
You can never know which pool safety step will save a life. Until it does. No matter how safe you feel, adding multiple safety steps can mean the difference between a close call and a call to 911. Simple steps save lives. To learn some new ones, visit poolsafely.gov.
Alzheimer's disease, if left unchecked, will strike millions, including baby boomers, their children, and grandchildren in the coming years. As a scientist studying Alzheimer's disease for the American Health Assistance Foundation, I'm well aware that continued research is our only hope for finding a cure. Call 1-800-437-2423 or visit ahaf.org for free publications on Alzheimer's. Learn what you can do to help battle this deadly disease.
Did you know that the average Social Security benefit is only $780 a month?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that most people will spend 20 years in retirement?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that a 40-year-old who saves $20 a week can have $75,000 when they retire?
I didn't know that.
There's a lot you might not know. To get free information about savings, visit our website or call this number.
I know what to do now.
And finally, Mayor Frank Scotto planted a seed of an idea in the community, and it grew into a place that brings comfort to patients and their families. Reporter Amy Davis explains.
We created an environment here for people who are in the time of their life when they're truly saddened by the fact that someone's going to be passing away.
Mayor Scotto is talking about Torrance 4 Rotary's garden project at Providence Little Company of Mary's Transitional Center.
They're in the hospice room here, and they can come out here and have some solace.
Hospice is usually at-home care for the terminally ill, but some can't be accommodated at home and need to be in a hospital, and Torrance's facility is the only one in the South Bay to have hospice suites. These comfortable suites could be compared to a hotel, but the one thing missing has been a decent view.
So what was basically a piece of grass with 3 palm trees, rusted furniture, it was an eyesore.
And when this was brought to Mayor Scotto's attention, he envisioned the planting of a garden, a project he figured would cost $5,000 to $10,000.
It started with a very small idea, and it mushroomed into something that was, we can't believe. This is such a success story for the community of Torrance.
But the help of the Torrance 4 Rotaries and the Providence Trinity Care Hospice Foundation, the community raised $48,000 and a beautiful garden was born.
People stepped up and worked many hours. I mean, so many Rotarians were here planting these plants on Saturdays, and so many other people worked free to do this. We're just amazed.
And today, after a year and a half of work, the garden is now ready to enjoy. John Stotler, whose wife died in 2009, was one of the original donors. In fact, Stotler is often credited as the pioneer donor for the hospice suites.
My wife passed away here, and I wanted to do something so she wouldn't just be a nobody that came through.
And Stotler is very pleased with the finished product.
I had no idea that this was going to occur as it did, and I'm just astounded. Absolutely astounded.
It's so far above and beyond what we ever anticipated.
For many, they are just thankful to have a peaceful place to visit during a difficult time.
Nature is such a comfort to people. It allows us to play, it allows us to focus and just kind of get a better perspective on life.
For Torrance CitiCABLE, I'm Amy Davis.
For more information on Providence Little Company of Mary Hospital's Transitional Care Facility, call 310-303-5900. And that's going to do it for us on This Week in Torrance. I'm Ben McCain.
And I'm Jin Chun. If you've missed any portion of our show, you can catch us again at 11 a.m. and 6 p.m. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.